What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's another Through the Years. This is episode 2 of NFL Through the Years. I did one on CJ Spiller. If you like that video or any other Through the Years video I did for either the NBA or NFL, like and subscribe to the channel. We're on the goal for 200 subscribers. We're at 170, man. Like and subscribe if you do. Without further ado, we're going to talk about Jimmy Smith. Not Jimmy Smith that played for the Baltimore Ravens. We're talking Jimmy Smith, the greatest Jags receiver of all time, and he's done a few things in his career that no other receiver has done. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and talk about his career. Jimmy Smith played his college ball at Jackson State University, yes, way before Deion Sanders took over as a head coach. He played for 3 teams for 17 years. Started his career with the Dallas Cowboys, was drafted 36th overall in the 1992 draft, where he was teammates with his mentor, not Deion Sanders, but Michael Irvin. So during the scrimmage of the Dallas Blue-White game on July 19th, he suffered his first career injury where he broke his right fibula when he missed the first few games of the 1992 season. After missing time through an injury, he was listed 4th receiver on the depth chart behind Michael Irvin, Alvin Harper, and Kelvin Martin. On October 11th, he made his professional debut in a 27-0 victory against the Seahawks and a Week 16 matchup against the Atlanta Falcons. So during his time with the Cowboys, he was very injury-ridden. He missed a lot of time. He really hasn't. The only thing he's really done with the Cowboys was win 2 Super Bowls, one as a rookie and one as his second year in the league. We'll go over a few things during his time with the Cowboys. And on August 24th, 1993, he had an emergency appendectomy where he got his appendix removed. Then 3 days later, he readmitted back in the hospital with pain and vomiting with a bad stomach due to post-surgical infection, possibly fatal. It could have killed him. So he had another surgery, which took out a portion of his intestine, was dissected and removed from his body. So he had to recover from that surgery once again. So he had 2 surgeries in a span of 4 days. So after that, he had to miss the entire season. Plus, he had to wear a colostomy bag. A colostomy bag is something where you have to use to put on the side of your body, which collects his fecal matter, forcing him to miss the rest of his season, including the Super Bowl 28, which they won. October 2nd, the Cowboys placed him on a non-football illness list and opted out to pay his $350,000 salary for the 1993 season, as well as his insurance, his pension, and his free agent credits, making him an offer of $100,000 with no credits, which he smartly declined. The NFLPA filed a grievance with the Cowboys on Smith's behalf, alleging that he was due his full salary, which he won after going through arbitration. On July 11, 1994, he waived after refusing a pay cut and was signed with the Philadelphia Eagles on July 17 of 1984, but he was eventually released a month later. This is where the Jimmy Smith legend begins. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers both became new franchises in the NFL. And Jimmy was on his couch sitting there thinking, what's next for me? I haven't played football in 3 years. What's next for me? So he went to a Jaguars tryout in Jacksonville. So he left from Jackson, Mississippi to go to Jacksonville, Florida, where the new franchise was having tryouts. And he wowed the organization so much that the Jacksonville Jaguars organization signed him on February 28th, 1995, after the tryout. Tom Coughlin saw his talents, and he was wowed by him, and he made the team. He competed with Desmond Howard, Ernest Givens, Willie Jackson, Cedric Tillman, and Curtis Marsh throughout the training camp for a job as a starting wide receiver. Coach Tom Coughlin named the 5th wide receiver on the depth chart behind Howard, Givens, Jackson, and Tillman. He finished the season leading the Jaguars in kick returns. That next season, he became the starter after Andre Rison was released for the 11th game after the Pittsburgh Steelers game. He emerged as a dominant receiver, finishing 1,244 receiving yards, leading the AFC with 17 E's, while helping to win his last 5 games and reach the AFC Championship game. Smith will remain one of the most cornerstones of the franchise for a decade. Teammates gave him the nickname J Smooth, and we know later as Keenan McCardell as Thunder and Lightning. After a TV Guide photo shoot in 1997, their history together was detailed in NFL Films' 2014 film, A Football Life, the Keenan McCardell and Jimmy Smith story. Smith continued to become a key member of the Jaguar organization offense, organization with offensive numbers. He helped them lead in the playoffs appears for 4 straight years from 96 to 99. In 99, he helped make the Jaguars the best team in the NFL while registering a career best 1,636 yards and 6 touchdowns. In 2000, his best career game, arguably one of the best defenses in NFL history, when he posted 15 catches for NFL 5th best all-time, 291 receiving yards, and 3 touchdowns against the eventual Super Bowl champs, Ray and the Baltimore Ravens. In 2001, he overcame 3 difficult and tested operations during the offseason to remove a scar tissue from the related appendectomy procedure that he went in Dallas. In November 26, he found out he had to have a byproduct of cocaine in the system. It was after being pulled over for suspicious drunk driving. So this became the problem with Jimmy Smith later in his career, drug and alcohol abuse. He denied using cocaine and was not charged with any crime since he was not found to be impaired while driving. The NFL placed him on a substance abuse program. In 2003, he was handed a 4-game suspension for undisclosed substance abuse violation. He would have a down year for 805 yards and 4 touchdowns. Then we'll go to May 11, 2006, when Smith abruptly retired from the NFL, finished his career 7th all-time with 862 catches, 11th in league history with 12,287 yards, and 67 career touchdowns with the Jaguars. Smith has voted the Pro Bowl 5 straight times from 97 to 01. He's also the Jaguars' all-time leading receiver and have led the Jags in receiving every season from 96 to 05. He set team records with 116 receptions, also the league record, 1,636 yards in 1999, both career highs. His career high in touchdowns was 8, achieving 98, 2000, and 2001. In 2016, he was inducted in the Jaguars Ring of Honor, where he was introduced to the Pride of the Jaguars. It's a Ring of Honor showcasing the franchise's best players inductee. He joined teammates such as Mark Brunell and Tony Baselli with that honor. So that was Jimmy Smith's career in a nutshell. Let's talk about his legal issues. So Jimmy Smith was a phenomenal player on the field, but off the field he made a lot of bad decisions. Let's talk about a few of them. In April of 2009, Smith was arrested for multiple drug charges. Since then, he went through rehab and made an effort to make a difference in other people's lives, starting the Jimmy Smith Foundation. In 2013, Smith was sentenced to serve a 6-year prison term at the Mississippi Department of Corrections after being convicted for a drug and weapons charge, 2 years for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, 4 years for possession of cocaine. Although his tentative release was November 8th of 2018, he was released on July 2nd of 2013 on the condition of house arrest. So Jimmy Smith, is he a Hall of Fame kind of receiver? Yes, he is. Is he going to make it the Hall of Fame? For his actions on and off the field and the limited time he played with the Cowboys and Eagles, I don't know if he'll ever make the Hall of Fame, but the fact that he put up so many great numbers is just amazing to me. For a guy who dealt with appendix issues, broken fibula his first year in the NFL, being buried in dark depth chart multiple times, not only with the Cowboys, but even when he came to the Jaguars before he became the legend he is now, he started 5th on the depth chart. And he clawed and worked his way up to be probably the best wide receiver, not only in Jags history, but probably during the 1990s. You know, he's up there with the Randy Mosses, the Terrell Owens, the Michael Irvins. You know, he may not play enough seasons like them guys did, but what he did on the field probably was up there with the production. I mean, 9 straight 1,000-yard seasons? That's crazy. He only joined a certain group. I believe he's in the group with Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, and himself, the only 3 players to have 9 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. That's crazy. Jimmy Smith is a Hall of Famer in my eyes. He's definitely probably the greatest Jag to ever play the game. I know Fred Taylor's up there. I know Tony Baselli's up there. I know Mark Brunell is up there. But what Jimmy Smith did for the franchise and as a receiver, there's no receiver that's ever came close to what Jimmy Smith has done for the Jaguars organization. And we had some pretty good ones. We had Mike Sims-Walker. We had Ernest Wilford, Matt Jones. We had Keenan McCardell, who was very good at outright, but he wasn't on Jimmy Smith's level during his time with the Jaguars. Now he went to San Diego. Yeah, Keenan McCardell was that dog. He was a dog in San Diego. But as an individual, Jimmy Smith is by far the greatest Jaguar receiver to ever play the game. I mean, what he did with Mark Brunell was magic. Even with Byron Leftwich in the early 2000s, he was still a 1,000-yard receiver up until when he had 800 yards receiving after he did with the post-appendix surgery. He had to deal with that scar, and he was still dealing with infections and all that stuff. But he still had 800 yards and 7 touchdowns. So for a guy of his age at that time, that's still pretty freaking amazing. Jimmy Smith is my opinion, my favorite Jaguars player of all time. Next to Maurice Jones-Drew, Jalen Ramsey, and Fred Taylor. Those guys right there are my favorite Jaguar players of all time. I know Jalen Ramsey don't play for us no more, but during this time when Jalen Ramsey played for the Jags, he was by far the best DB to ever play for the Jags. And yes, Rasheed Matthews was like that. I mean, he was very consistent with us. But what Jalen Ramsey was, he was a pure shutdown corner. My favorite corner ever played for the Jaguars, but my favorite player was definitely Jimmy Smith. I am going to do Fred Taylor through the years and Maurice Jones-Drew, so stay tuned to that. I really believe they should give Jimmy Smith a chance to be in the Hall of Fame. Yes, he's dealt with drug and alcohol situations, but who hasn't? Michael Irvin's in the Hall of Fame. He dealt with drug abuse. Chris Carter's in the Hall of Fame. He's dealt with drug and alcohol abuse. So nobody's perfect in this world. I really feel like they blackball a lot of players who've done stuff like that, but some of the guys who are in Canton right now doing some of the same stuff. So that's just my grief about it. I think Michael Vick should be the Hall of Fame. I never think Jimmy Smith should be the Hall of Fame. But we'll wait and see. You know, Michael Vick's been out league now for I want to say 7 years now. So I hope we'll see Michael Vick in the Hall of Fame because he revolutionized the scrambling quarterback. He's by far the greatest scrambling quarterback to ever touch the field. Up until now, of course, Lamar Jackson, he's doing his thing. But Michael Vick has revolutionary not only the black quarterback, but the dual threat quarterback. But Jimmy Smith deserves to be the Hall of Fame. He does so much for this young franchise, the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's been consistent since he's been a Jaguar. He hasn't fell short, nothing of amazing. I mean, the man had almost 300 yards receiving against the best defense in NFL history. And I know the 85 Bears was like that. But against Ray Lewis in the 2000 Ravens defense, almost 300 yards receiving? Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Give my man a Hall of Fame. Give my man a Hall of Fame induction nod. But thank y'all for watching the video. We'll be back with another one real soon. I thank everybody for tuning in. And y'all stay tuned for more to come. Y'all have a blessed day, and we out.